given in the revealed scriptures, it is concluded that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. Why then are learned scholars sometimes indifferent to him?
So what is the problem statement here?
Yeah, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Then they're telling why people are indifferent to him, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Under what circumstances Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself?
It is because of the complexion and all, no, Prabhu?
No. Many scriptures have revealed that Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But still, scholarly people have different opinions. Why is that they're not able to converge in that opinion? That's the point here. Is it clear? So, for example, Sri Vaishnavas, for them, Vishnu Sahasranama is the mother of all scriptures for them. Okay? In Vishnu Sahasranama, there is a verse which says the Lord comes as Hemango, which means he comes as the golden complexion. But still, they don't want to accept it. They will give a different explanation for it. So it's just why. Okay, one or two. Yeah, who's want to read?
Text 1 or 2. Bhatta kahe tanra krupa lesha haya yanre se sthanare Krishna karila laite pare. The Bhattacharya replied, a person who has received but a small fraction of mercy from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that he is Lord Krishna. No one else can. But Sankirtana movement can be spread by a person who is especially favored by Lord Krishna. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. Without first obtaining the mercy of Lord, one cannot spread the holy name of the Lord. One who can spread the Lord's name is called Labdha Caitanya. The words of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. The Labdha Caitanya is one who has actually awakened his original consciousness. Krishna consciousness. The influence of pure devotees in Krishna consciousness is such that it can awaken others to become immediately Krishna conscious and engage themselves in transcendental loving service of Krishna. In this way, the descendants of pure devotees increase. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes much pleasure in seeing the increase of his devotees. The word Sumedasha means super sharply intelligent. When one's intelligence is sharp, he can increase the interest of common men in loving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and through him in loving Radha Krishna. Those not interested in understanding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are simply material in their attempts at professional chanting and dancing for money despite their supposed artistry. If one does not have full faith in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cannot properly chant and dance in Sankirtana movement. Artificial chanting and dancing may be due to sentiments or sentimental agitation. But this cannot help one in advancing Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hari. What are the key points here?
So mercy is the first key point. So one can understand the Lord only by his mercy, not by his own effort or her own effort. That is one point. And we can know about what is Labdha Caitanya mean as articulated by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
What is Labdha Caitanya?
Labdha Caitanya, he is one who has got the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he spreads Krishna conscious movement. Like in Uttamadhikari.
He spreads the glories and the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
Yes, Prabhu.
Then?
And then it takes here Prabhupada is telling Sumedashaha from Srimad Bhagavatam, referring to the sharp, intelligent person. So only if the Sumedashaha means if he's sharply intelligent, he can take up the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. That is what he's articulating. And he's also telling who will dance. One is not empowered to dance and chant if they are not really immersed, but who are dancing artificially are only sentimental. That is what Prabhupada is telling you.
So your dancing and singing should be from your heart, not because someone else is dancing and singing, or you see, okay, I've had a lot of food, it's good to dance now, so I'll good digestion. So those are all not the thing, right? So you should dance in a manner out of ecstasy and pleasure, right? So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated the dancing in front of the carts, how to dance, right? So that's one aspect to understand. Okay, then what else?
That's all. I think so. That's all.
Okay. See, I'll narrate a story, the past time. So you all know, right? Vidura came out of Hastinapur and he went in search of realization, God realization. So now look at his case. Now, in the court of Hastinapur or in the kingdom of Hastinapur, Duryodhan threw Vidura out of the palace. Now, why did he throw him out of the palace? Because he's always giving advice against Duryodhana to Dhritarashtra. One. Secondly, Vidura is always, Duryodhana is always thinking Vidura is favoring the Pandavas. And there are, of course, there are many, many reasons which I don't want to go now. So Vidura got thrown out. But what Vidura did, he used that as an opportunity. He said, I'll use this opportunity. I will not sit and cry. I will not get into a depressed situation. No, I lost my kingdom, lost my position, nothing. He said, I'll use this as an opportunity to purify my consciousness and become more and more God conscious. Okay. So then what happened to Vidura? So Vidura came to Prabhas. He met Uddhava there. After meeting Uddhava, he asked a few questions about Krishna and his pastimes. Uddhava said, even though Uddhava knew everything, because just now Uddhava completed the entire hearing of Uddhava Gita also from Krishna. So Uddhava knew everything. But he said, no, I'm too junior. You are senior, meaning you're an elderly person. You're like my fatherly position. How can I teach you? Because if I have to teach you, I have to act like a guru. How can I teach you? I cannot teach you. So it's better you go and ask another realized person. That is the best way you can understand, the life of a soul, the human journey of the soul, and who's Krishna, what's his activities, what's the goal of human life, etc. So Uddhava advises Vidura to go to someone else. Vidura is asking again, whom should I go? You only tell, I don't know where should I search this transcendental knowledge. Should you go meet Maitreya Rishi. Now, when he goes to Maitreya Rishi, he's asking Maitreya Rishi, what is the position of a Jivatma in this material world? And yes, name, fame, opulence, all these things are important. Or love for Godhead, Sri Krishna is important. So like that he's asking Maitreya Muni. So Maitreya Muni is saying, this material life is like a Shulla Bhagya. What is Shulla Bhagya? He says that the opportunity to get a human body and to practice Krishna conscious itself is very, very considered to be very, very auspicious. Very lucky also. But after getting such a human body, one is wasting that for very, very small, tiny pleasures. Okay. So how is that? For example, I want to buy 1 kg of rice. Okay. But I am paying 10 lakh rupees to buy 1 kg of rice. See, 10 lakh of rupees value is very valuable. But using 10 lakh of rupees to buy 1 kg of rice, which is so paltry in nature. So like that, having human body We are seeking, enjoying, and getting satisfied with small, small material pleasures and thinking that is ultimate. So he says, Shulla Bhagya. So Maitreya Rishi is telling Vidura. Then Maitreya Rishi is going on telling that what is position of Krishna, how creation happens, his pastimes, his devotees. So many things Maitreya Rishi is answering Vidura. In that, Vidura is saying, oh, this is so nectarian to hear about Lord. It is so nectarian to hear about the creation, the pastimes of the Lord. And he says that one should be really gifted to hear this. Now, at this point in time, Vidura is thinking, one can learn Shastras, Vedic knowledge, go in search of books, get all this knowledge. Why one should come and ask a guru? They can just get this knowledge anywhere. So at time Maitreya Rishi is telling, getting knowledge by reading a book or reading some Shastric scriptural injunction writings and things like that is an information on knowledge. An information on a subject does not help one to realize the subject. So one has to hear from a person who is practicing and experiencing something like this. And that is when you get realized knowledge. And when will such a person reveal you the truth? Is when you please that person by some service. So it means someone may be a very scholarly person. He may be a PhD. He may be whatever it may be. Highly intellectual. But that bookish knowledge cannot touch the heart. It continues to remain as information in the heart. It cannot be in a useful format. So hence, when Vidura, who was scholarly, and in fact, who was Vidura? Vidura in his previous birth was Yamaraj. Even though he was Yamaraj, he is one of the 12 Mahajans. In this current birth of as Vidura, even though he is scholarly, he is seeking the shelter of Maitreya Rishi, who is going to explain him the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to him. So now you see the difference. The difference is, it is arrangement of the Lord for Vidura to be thrown out from Hastinapur. It is the arrangement of the Lord to meet Uddhava. It is the arrangement of the Lord that Vidura meets Maitreya Rishi. And Maitreya Rishi is telling, Vidura, look at your position. You are son of the great Vyasadev. But you are coming and seeking realized transcendental knowledge from me. So this is also arrangement of the Lord. So if you can understand this arrangement of the Lord, you can see it is the Lord who empowers based on one's enthusiasm and consciousness. If one's consciousness is sattvic in nature, tendency for purification, the Lord makes arrangement for that person to meet great saints, great souls, and purify his knowledge. This is most important here. See here, what is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura says? He says, Labdha Caitanya. Who's Labdha Caitanya? Is one who can awaken the spiritual transcendental aspect in another living entity. And when can he happen? When he is empowered by Lord Chaitanya. So you see, both Maitreya Rishi and Vidura are empowered by the Supreme Lord Krishna, for which one is taking the position of a guru, one is taking the position of a student to hear this transcendental knowledge. And that is important to understand here. It is not accidental. It is by divine arrangement that this is happening. Because Vidura met Maitreya Rishi, Srimad Bhagavatam got spoken. And this conversation is recorded in a certain format by hearing, by Shravanam, and by realization. And Sukadeva Goswami later on repeats it to Parikshit. And whatever Sukadeva Goswami repeated to Parikshit, later on reserved by Suta Goswami, and then he records it, and then he tells this to the thousands of sages at Naimisharanya. And hence we are able to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So you see how the divine arrangement that this is happening. Okay, Prabhu, good. Divine arrangement is happening. What is my role here? Our role is to realize the position of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our heart. If we don't do that effort, then we are wasting this human form of life. You should be able to realize Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in your heart. And that's important. Now, how can we do that? Just become simply part of the Sankirtana movement, which Mahaprabhu has started. And that is what will make us to realize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, coming to other sampradayas. There are many sampradayas, and many followers, many cults, many groups. Now, for them, discussion about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may not be the key subject matter. But if one understands the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and continues to read about him, understand, like Chaitanya Charitamrita, practice chanting, practice all these things, still be in the sampradaya whichever he is belonging to. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so powerful that it will deliver him also in this very same birth. So, it is important to understand and read and smaran about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our life all the time. That's how you understand this purport. Everyone?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. I was just wondering, no sound at all. So, okay, let's move forward. If you don't have any questions, one or three.
Apt example here is Tulsidas.
Yeah, tell me.
No, that Tulsidas is apt example for this. Even though he was blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he followed his own Rama Tulsi Ramcharitmanas. And even though he was I think so, I heard he was initiated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. But he continued on his devotion to Ram and continued and got liberated.
Okay.
So what you're telling, so even if other sampradayas follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though they are in that sampradaya, can get liberated as true.
So now let's say someone is in Pushti Marg, Pushti Sampradaya, right? Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. Now maybe there is no standard acharyas and leaders in the Pushti Sampradaya, and you're just following because some ancestors of yours followed. Maybe there's some guru in that aspect, which is okay. Now, because there is no leader like Srila Prabhupada now in that Sampradaya, but if that person worships Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will still get liberated and go to the destination he is destined to. He may not come to Goloka, he may go to some other Vaikuntha planets. Because he worships Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his journey gets completed. That's the power. Yeah. Okay, so let's read further. 103.
Hare Krishna, text 11.103. Tandra Krupa na he yare, Pandita na he kene, Dekila shuni leha tandre, Ishvara namane. If the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not bestowed upon a person, regardless of how learned a scholar that person may be, and regardless of his seeing or listening, he cannot accept Lord Chaitanya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The same principles can be applied to demonic persons, even though they may be in the Sampradaya of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without receiving the Lord's special power, one cannot preach his glories all over the world. Even though one may celebrate himself as a learned follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even though one may attempt to preach the holy name of the Lord all over the world, if he is not favored by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will find fault with the pure devotee and will not be able to understand how a preacher is empowered by Lord Chaitanya. One must be considered bereft of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he criticizes the Krishna conscious movement now spreading all over the world, or finds fault with this movement or the leader of the movement. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. So which means what? If you not accept Srila Prabhupada or anyone in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, still you'll not get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the point. Okay, 104.
Hare Krishna. Text 11.104. Atapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugruhita eva hi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimom no nachanya ekopi chiram vichinvan. Translation. Lord Brahma said, "My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Purport. This verse is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.29. It is explained in the Madhya Lila in the 6th chapter, text 84. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So it's the mercy. So mercy of the Lord is more powerful than anything else. It is beyond the conception of our effort, our intelligence, our strength, and all these things. So if one says, okay, only mercy, everything is about mercy, then I'll only keep on asking for mercy, but I'll not do anything else. I'll not put any effort. No. Mahaprabhu says that one who realizes positions in relationship with the Lord and continues to perform his activities without expectation, for him the mercy is awarded, and also he transcends this human body of life. So seek mercy, but go on doing your devotion services. That's the point here. Okay, 105.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sarajit Prabhu, 105, text 105. Raja kage sabe Jagannatha na dekhiye Caitanya era vasagrihe charida dana. Translation. The king said, instead of visiting the temple of Lord Jagannatha, all the devotees are running towards the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
What does it mean?
So instead of visiting Jagannath, everyone is running to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house.
So what does it mean?
They want to meet him.
Yeah, they want to meet him, but what's the realization there?
Everyone has understood that he is
Supreme Lord, the same like
Position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone has understood the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they have gone to that level. Okay, so 106.
Hare Krishna. Text 106. Bhatta kahe eita swabhavika prema rita Mahaprabhu milibare utkandita chita. Translation: Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, "This is spontaneous love. All the devotees are very anxious to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, 107.
Hare Krishna. Text 107. Aage tandre mili sabe tandre sange lana tandra sange jagannatha teki benagiya. Translation: First, the devotees will meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then take him with them to the temple to see Lord Jagannatha. Hare Krishna.
Lord Jagannath. So both are required. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preaches, go worship Lord Jagannath. He is the ultimate goal, destiny for any human being. So hence, you see, you are accepting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as God, as Guru, as everything. But the continuation of worship of Lord Krishna has to happen. So this is, you have to do this simultaneously. Okay. Yeah, read.
Just one minute. Raja kahet Bhavanandera Putra Vani Nata Prasada Lai Sange Chale Pancha Sata. The king said, the son of Bhavananda Raya named Vaninatha, along with 5 or 7 other men, went there to obtain the remnants of Lord Jagannatha's food. Hare Krishna.
So by eating the remnants of Lord Jagannath food, one receives the mercy of Lord Jagannath. That's what it means. So hence, son of Bhavanandarai and Vaninatha, with other few men, they immediately went to the temple to take darshan of the Lord and also have his Mahaprasad. Okay, 909.
Text 109. Mahaprabhuralaye karilagamana eta mahaprasada chahi kaha ki karana. Indeed, Vaninatha has already gone to the residence of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and has taken a huge quantity of Mahaprasadam. Please let me know the reason for this.
Okay. 110. Let's see the reason.
Text 110. Bhatta kahe bhakta gana aila janina Prabhura ingite prasada ya tandralana. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, understanding that all the devotees have come, Lord Chaitanya gave the sign, and therefore Vaninatha and the others have brought such great quantities of Mahaprasadam. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so whatever probably was cooked in the temple for, after offering to Lord Jagannath, they shipped everything, looks like, to feed all of the devotees. Okay, so look at Mahaprabhu's consciousness. He's giving so much importance to eat Krishna Prasad at all time and serve Krishna Prasad at all time. That is when one will get the consciousness of Krishna. Without eating Prasad, one may not get the consciousness of Krishna. Okay, 111. Raja ka, yeah, who's going to read?
Second round we can start with that.
I will read them. Raja kahe upavasa shaura tirtera vidhana tahana kariya kene kaiba annapana. The king then asked the Bhattacharya, why have the devotees not observed the regulations for visiting the pilgrimage place, such as fasting, shaving, and so on? Why have they first eaten prasadam? So this is a question of King Prataprata, because a difference between a scholarly person is he will be bookish in his knowledge. Oh, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is. Okay. But realization of devotee is much higher. They know what is to be prioritized when and what is of greater and prime importance. So you can see another classical example of a person who's just read the Shastra versus someone who's acting on the platform of deep devotion. Okay, now let's see what is it. 112.
Verse 112. Batta kahe tumi yehi kaha sehi vidhi dharma eyi ragha marge ache sukshma dharma marma. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Bhattacharya told the king, what you have said is right according to the regulative principles governing the visiting of holy places. But there is another path, which is the path of spontaneous love. According to those principles, there are subtle intricacies involved in the execution of religious principles.
So you see the point here? What's
Yes.
the key point here?
Spontaneous love.
When there is spontaneous love, which is bhakti, right?
Yes.
When the bhakti is so attractive, you see, the standard path of rule A, B, C, D, E, F doesn't apply. You always take a detour, and that's spontaneous love. You got the answer? Now let's see the purport.
But according to the Vedic regulative principles, one has to be celibate before entering a holy place of pilgrimage. Generally, people are very much addicted to sense gratification, and unless they have sex at night, they cannot sleep. The regulative principles therefore enjoin that before a common man goes to a holy place of pilgrimage, he should observe complete celibacy. As soon as one enters a holy place, he must observe fasting for the day, and after shaving his head clean, he must take a bath in a river or ocean near the holy place. These methods are adopted to neutralize the effects of sinful activities. Visiting a holy place of pilgrimage means neutralizing the reactions of a sinful life. Those who go to holy places of pilgrimage actually unload the reactions of their sinful lives, and consequently, holy places are overloaded with sinful activities left there by visitors. When a saintly person, a pure devotee, visits such a holy place, he absorbs the sinful effects left by the common men and again purifies the holy place. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.10. Therefore, a common man's visit to a holy place and an exalted saintly person's visit there are different. The common man leaves his sins in the holy place, and a saintly person or a devotee cleanses these sins simply by his presence. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were not common men, and they could not be subjected to the rules and regulations governing the visiting of holy place. Rather, they exhibited their spontaneous love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Immediately upon arrival at the holy place, they went to see Lord Chaitanya, and by his order, they took Mahaprasadam without following the regulations governing the holy place. Hare Krishna.
What a beautiful purport, where Prabhupada is written. Phenomenal. Any realizations anyone want to share regarding the current topic?
It reminds me of Ganga, she refuses to come down to the...
Yeah, she refuses to come.
Yes.
And fearing the same thing. Oh, everyone will leave sinful reactions on me and I have to take it. Why? Yeah, good point. Any others? Others are silent. No? Okay. So you see, I mean, of course, there are many other stories like the Pawan Sarovar story and all other stories. Many things are, powerful. But what you should understand is how a purified person, a yogi or a devotee, when he reaches these holy places, he absorbs those sinful reactions and purifies the whole place. The holy place itself is an expansion of the energy of the Lord. It itself does that, right? So, for example, let's take Govardhan. Govardhan is Lord himself and devotee of the Lord. So anyone who steps on Govardhan and then who does Govardhan Parikrama, worship, things like that, Govardhan not only eliminates their sins and miseries, but he also absorbs them fully. So even though he is Lord, he does that also. So like that you can see there are many, many examples how, these things wonderfully happen. Okay. Let me explain you. Okay. I'll explain you. You all know the Pradhana, the story of Pradhana. How creation takes place. You all know this. I won't.
Listen again, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu.
Okay, so how does creation happen? Creation happens because Brahmaji is first created. Okay, and Brahmaji is being taught. Okay, he's taught. Then after knowledge, Brahmaji is empowered now. Okay, now you can actually do the creation. Now what Brahmaji did, he started to create. He created all the living entities. He created all the living entities with different kinds of bodies, not just human beings, animals, humans, insects, trees, birds, mammals, everything, every kind of body he creates. Now all done, but life form doesn't, there's no activity. The life form does not function. The earth is not rotating. The sun is not moving from the southern direction to the north direction. Nothing is happening. Everything is stand still. Just like you're watching a movie and suddenly you pause it. How you see it, just like that. So, Lord explains to Brahmaji. Now, how do we understand this? The Lord, from the body of the Lord, energies manifest. Unlimited number of energies manifest. Energies in the spiritual realm, the energies in the Prakriti, the material realm, all of them they manifest. They're working under the direction of the Lord. Okay. Without the sanction, without the mercy of the Lord, even though the energies are very powerful, they will not act, they will not do. That's the point to understand. Okay. So let's take an example, practical example. So a farmer has 10 acres of land. He is like that. There are many farmers, right? So each of the farmer, one is going to produce rice, paddy, and things like that. One is going to produce wheat. Another farmer is going to produce vegetables. Another farmer is going to produce fruits, and many spices, ingredients, all these things. The farmer is thinking that I am the one who produced all these things that others are consuming. But imagine, in reality, the farmer does not have land by himself. The land is provided by the Lord. The farmer does not have the seeds. The seeds for a particular progeny is provided by the Lord. The farmer doesn't have any minerals and fertilizers and ingredients. Everything is enriched in the soil by the Lord. So, even though all these things are there, unless the mercy of the Lord is there, farmer cannot produce whatever we need. Now you go to your kitchen. Now let's say you want to make a specific dish. You want to make a specific dish and they need about 10 ingredients. Just because these 10 ingredients are placed next to each other, do you think that particular dish will manifest? No, it won't manifest. The cook has to mix them, heat them, go through chemical process. And that is when food is produced. So similarly, Brahmaji is bewildered that, hey, I know all this knowledge. I'm empowered to do. But even though I've created, there's no activity. So when the Lord glances them, the Lord glances at this material energy, immediately all life forms, all activities and everything start to function. So it is important to understand this. If you take the rules, yes, Brahmaji can do all the creation. But the subtle aspect is the Lord has to glance it for an activity to come out. And this is an important thing to understand. So, you see, everything is under the mercy of the Lord. When the Lord glances, how Prakriti becomes lively. All the modes of middle nature starts to function. And there is activity, there is life. And some people are materialist, some people are devotional, some people are, all kinds of people are there and continue to perform their activities. So, the first duty of any living entity is to express their gratitude to the Lord. It's important to express and recognize the position of the Lord. So here, if you look at it, why are regulative principles introduced into the system? We are so much conditioned. We are having so much difficulty in following any of the rules and regulations, which are sort of boring, which are sort of, restricting one to do anything he wishes to. But that activity attracts the mercy of the Lord. So you see, all those Vaishnavas are coming from different places. They're so much attracted to the Lord that they just leave everything and then straight away run to see the Lord, take his darshan. And Lord doesn't want to send anyone empty-handed. Whoever comes immediately, serve Mahaprasad, because Mahaprasad contains an expression of love of the Lord to that personality of the devotee. Just by consuming Mahaprasad, you will get the same consciousness as Chaitanya. So, the conclusion is, if we realize this state, this pradhana, what is pradhana? It was everything in a standstill state. While the Lord glanced, the whole thing became active. Look at the mercy of the Lord. If he doesn't glance, there's no chance for anyone to practice anything. Yeah, I'm born, I'm there, but nothing. Life is going to be so mundane and boring. Nothing to do. Actually, these are positions of all these Mayavadis who get into Brahman liberation. The struggle is actually hell. Everything will be in an inactive state. What will you do for millions of years in that place? So, the whole cycle of purification by the Lord and the impurification by the living entities is a constant thing that's going on. If we acknowledge this, we automatically pray our gratitude in the form of practice of bhakti. Call out his names. Hear his glories. Hear his pastimes. Thank him for what he has offered to us. And help serve others to come out of this illusion. That's what a qualitative devotee will do. When Lord sees one that he is taking part in this mission, the Lord is so pleased that he awards him more and more benediction. So that's a phase that we have to go through. Win the confidence of the Lord. Any other thoughts?
Prabhu, what is the difference between Pradhana and Mahatattva?
Mahatattva is this whole materialistic, material creation, the Anda, Garbhodaksha, Vishnu, the whole Prakriti, right? So Prakriti is created, but it stands still. There's no activity, nothing happening there. So when Lord glances it, the three modes of material nature starts to function, and they make each and every activity possible. Influenced by ignorance, influenced by passion, influenced by goodness, influenced by pure goodness, all those things.
Its glance is the pradhana, Prabhu.
Pradhana is the inert state.
Okay.
Unmanifested state. Present but not manifested.
Okay.
So you see how you look at the broader picture, the high level picture at which the Lord is trying to do something to us. That's what you have to understand. So that broader vision is seen by great devotees like our Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, all of this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pradhana becomes Mahatattva after his glance, Prabhu. Am I correct, Prabhu?
Well, there are two different things. So Mahatattva is the entire material creation. Pradhana is just a state.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, you created a car. Okay, there are 4 wheels, engine, everything is there, but the car is not moving. It's not going. Oh, then you realized, oh, I need a driver. Okay, put a driver. Still, car is not moving. Why? Because car is not activated by, let's say, a spark plug or a battery or fuel present or something like that. So that's the activity that the Lord does. Okay. Okay, so let's go to 113. Someone read?
Hare Krishna. Next 11.113. Ishwarera paroksha agna shaura upasana prabhura sakshad agna prasada bhojana. Translation. The scriptural intentions for shaving and fasting are indirect orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, when there is a direct order from the Lord to take prasadam, naturally the devotees take prasadam as their first duty. Correct.
Okay, next.
Hare Krishna, text 11.114. Tahan
upavasaya
Vahanahi Mahaprasada Prabhu Anya Prasadadya Dehaya Aparada. When Mahaprasadam is not available, there must be fasting. But when the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly orders one to take prasadam, neglecting such an opportunity
offensive. Okay, so what does this mean to us in our devotional life, in our day-to-day practical devotion life? What does this mean?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, prasada is nothing but the remnants of the Lord. That is again the Lord himself. So when we are not going to take the remnants, we are neglecting the Lord. That means.
Oh, it's an offense. So give me some practical example. Hare Krishna. Give me some practical examples about this offense.
I can't remember, Prabhu.
One practical example, so one person was fasting Vijjal on the Ekadashi, but his spiritual master offered some prasadam, Mahaprasadam. And he told, since he's fasting Nirjal, he cannot have. So that directly contradicts what he said here.
Fantastic, excellent example. That's perfect.
Even Ambarish Maharaj, this one, no, Prabhu. He'll be fasting and he will be fasting. Durvasa Muni doesn't turn up. As the Dwadasi Gadiya goes, then he discusses with his seniors, and then he will break the fast by taking Charanamrita.
Yeah, but look at this statement here. That's not the point statement here. When Mahaprasadam is not available, there must be fasting. Yes, okay. But when the Supreme Person got it directly orders one to take prasadam, neglecting such an opportunity is offensive.
Yeah, then this doesn't apply, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Suvinay Prabhu said is correct.
What Suvinay Prabhu told,
Yes.
he said, he is not worried about the instruction of the spiritual master, which is supposed to be the highest principle, highest order. He's only sticking on to his personal goals, personal aspects and understanding of the thought. So he said no. Right? So he says, misusing an opportunity is offensive. Correct? So it's just correct understanding. Okay. Any more examples like this?
Prabhu, in the same way, when we get a service, we have to accept it
No,
readily.
we'll talk about Mahaprasadam. We'll talk about Prasadam. So many examples are there. Where are all? Simple things are there. Okay, so let's discuss few points since you're all struggling. Now, let's say there is a festival or a Sunday feast or something that I went to the temple and they offered me, and I saw there are about 6 varieties of prasadam. Okay. Then I said, no, I'll take puri because I like them, but others I don't like them, so I'll not take them. Okay, so is it correct or wrong?
Not correct.
All of you agree?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hearing only 2 voices.
They say I'm on diet.
People say I'm on diet, I'm this, I'm that. See, if there's a health problem, that's a different. I'm not talking about health problem, I'm talking about standard set of people or devotees.
Our likes and dislikes, prasadam should be accepted, whatever it is.
That should be honored under all circumstances. I cannot be choosy. That means I'm seeing prasadam as a tasty food, not as a mercy of the Lord. See the difference? I see gobi manchuri, it is tasty, I will have that. Rice, same thing, yeah, I'm not interested. See, look at the consciousness. If she sees the transcendental nectar in both, that person will eat both. Because he's not seeing, he's differentiating. Differentiating is Kanishta mentality. Not seeing that and accepting and honoring them is Madhyama mentality. That's a simple thing. Right? Okay. Let's say
we just repeat what you told Madhyama mentality. Just last it.
I went to have prasadam on a festival or Sunday feast or something like that. Okay, there are 6, 7 items or 10 items. I became very choosy. Hey, I like Mysore pak, I'll have that. Hey, I like puri, I'll have that. Rest I don't like, I'll leave it. That means I'm seeing it as food and taste of the food, not as a mercy of the Lord. That's why I differentiate. When I differentiate between good and bad, high and low, color and no color, etc., that means it's Kanishta mentality. When I don't differentiate, I see everything as mercy of the Lord, Mahaprasad of the Lord, and I eat it not for the taste, just to consume the Mahaprasad of the Lord, then it is Madhyama mentality.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do we do that? We all do this, right?
Become choosing.
Yeah. So, first of all, we should change our habit. When we go to the temple or any place where we serve prasadam, you may not have a good appetite, you may be a poor eater, etc., etc. But just honor all of them. Little bit also is fine. That is important to understand. And don't do it because Sundar Prabhu talked about this in the Chaitanya Charitamrita class. No, don't do it because of that. Because see it as a mercy of the Lord. That is the point. You getting it? Okay. Wasting prasadam. What's the issue?
We should not waste prasadam, Prabhu.
I know. Why? Prabhu?
Rejecting the mercy of the Lord.
Rejecting mercy of the Lord.
Prasada is not different from the Lord itself, Prabhu.
Yeah, correct. But I'm asking for realization. It is
Here,
rejecting mercy of the Lord.
here one example we can quote.
Then.
Durvasa Muni offered Mahaprasadam garland. Indra rejects and just offers it to his Airavata. And he loses, since the mercy is lost, he loses entire position on it.
Correct. Very, very important. So, handle with care when it comes to Mahaprasad. What is it? Don't overserve because you're hungry and then waste them. Always serve little quantities or the right quantities. Have them. If you're still appetite, eat. Even Mahaprasad, when it's consumed beyond a certain point and quantity, it becomes sense gratificatory rather than honoring the mercy of the Lord. This is what should be our consciousness. This is how we should. Just a second. So this must be the consciousness that we should develop. Okay. So once we went to Puri Jagannath, and then we had, they serve that Rajbhog, they serve other prasad now. So we went to the kitchen, everything, and then that prasad was served to us. We took it. Then that person came and told me, that Pujari or priest or someone, Prabhuji, this is Jagannath's prasad. Not even a grain of rice must be left over in your plate. Have a little bit, but eat fully. Don't waste. Not even a grain. He said, that's exactly what he used. Okay, Prabhu. So this time a little bit careful. Oh, I don't want to take more because I may not be able to eat. Instead, I will take a little bit. So I took mediocre and I finished them. After finishing them, you have to go for hand wash. That hand wash is in Anand Bazaar. So we went to hand wash in Anand Bazaar. I washed my hands. Then I poured water into my mouth. I gargled, or I would say mouth washed it. Then I spit the water. He said that that Pujari was there next to me. He also came to wash his hands. He said, Prabhuji, so much of Mahaprasad you wasted here. By mouth washing your mouth, this is not the way to do. Do you know what people in Jagannath Puri practice? There could be some remnants of food stuck between your teeth or throat or whatever it may be. You drink water so that they go inside your stomach rather than spitting them outside. Please be careful with Jagannath Prasad. This is the advice he gave me. This advice stuck so hard in my heart, saying that, is this Mahaprasad so valuable? I didn't even realize it. So you see the point here. Now you understand that non-dealing with the right manner with prasadam is an offensive. Huh? Sounds good?
Hard it is to digest, Prabhu, because we didn't know all these days. We were always wasting it also, no, Prabhu? We didn't know that it contains so much of value for this prasadam.
Yeah, so much value. Okay. So these are some of those things of religion. And there are many, many stories about prasadam. Lots of pastime stories are there. When the Mahaprasad was there, even a small grain, Lord Shiva took it, he was in ecstasy. And that's the real glory of Mahaprasad. Unlimited. Okay, let's read 115 now.
I'll read, Prabhu. Text 11.115. Vishesha Shri Haste Prabhukare Pariveshana Etalabha Chadi Konkare Uposhana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing prasadam with his transcendental hand, who will neglect such an opportunity and accept the regulative principle of fasting?
Accept the regulative principle of fasting. What is the attitude when you go out somewhere and suddenly someone distributes Maha Prasadam, leftover prasadam by sannyasis?
We should accept it, no Prabhu.
We have to take it
accept
immediately.
Accept it is fine, but what's the attitude? What should be our attitude?
The Madhya of the Lord.
Sorry?
We are getting the mercy, so we have to accept it readily, Prabhu. Because it is Maha Prasadam.
You have to accept it, I know, but what should be your thought process when that prasadam is coming?
Humility.
Oh, I don't know whether my spiritual master brushes his teeth properly or not. Should I eat that or not?
No, you should not think all that.
I heard he was unwell for the last 1 week. Now he is recovered and calm. How can he eat this prasad? So like that, you see, many thoughts come.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I remember one incident when I came to Balaji Prabhu's house, where we were taking TV session. At the very beginning of my entering into this path. So I came there and they offered me the prasadam, please take it. I said, Prabhu, today I'm fasting. Then he insisted, no, you have to take it. When senior Vaishnava is telling, you should not neglect it, take it. So then I honored it. Without even thinking what is the impact, and because I had no this much of knowledge about it, but I came there to take Swarna. But at that time, you said, although you are fasting, senior Vaishnava is telling, you honor the prasadam. Then I honored it.
Okay, good. So understand rules versus practical application. At the given circumstances, don't get worked out by the rules that are manifested in your thoughts. Look at the higher principle, let go the lower principle all the time. Okay. So 116.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Today it's actually my father's ceremony.
Meaning year to day,
Yeah, yearly once, Shraddha we do.
Shraddha.
Yeah. So I went and I performed all the rituals, but I did not take, prasadam later. How do you
what rituals you did? You went to a river or something like that?
No, Prabhu. I went to this Vaidika Bhavana and along with my brothers, I offered all the, whatever the rituals that we have to perform. After that, I did not honor the, whatever the prasadam they serve because of the fasting. And I kept the prasadam aside, and tomorrow I'm honoring it. Is it okay, Prabhu?
If you're honoring tomorrow, it's okay. But why you're not having? Because it's Ekadasi.
Today it's Ekadasi.
They are doing perfect now. That's what you're doing is in fact the correct thing.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, 116, let's read.
116. Purve Prabhu More Prasada Anna Ani Dila Prate Shayaya Vasi Mami Se Anna Khayila. Translation. Previously, the Lord gave me Mahaprasadam rice one morning, and I ate it just sitting on my bed without having even washed my mouth.
This is a pastime that Sarvam Bhattacharya goes with Mahaprabhu. It's a very, very beautiful pastime. We have read this pastime in the conversation in Sarvam Bhattacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that pastime. Okay, now let's see what happens.
Prabhuji, ఇది మహాప్రసాద్ మీరు చెప్తారు కదా, హరిదాస్ ఠాకూర్ once Mahaprabhu gave prasad without brushing and without washing his face also. He has honored the prasadam because that is a Mahaprasadam. At any condition, you have to take like that.
Yeah, there is brushing your teeth, putting soap and all is for us. Lord is fully transcendental. There is no cleanliness aspect for the Lord.
Yeah. For Haridas Thakur, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the prasadam.
That's what I'm saying. Taking bath, cleaning ourselves, brushing your teeth, washing your face applies to us. It doesn't apply to the Lord. That's my point. So it doesn't matter whether Lord does all these things or not.
Not Lord, Haridas Thakur, Prabhuji.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Mahaprabhu gave prasadam to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur honored prasadam without brushing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the pastime that we discussed in the chapter of conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvam Bhattacharya. In the same pastime comes. That's what he's saying. Even without even having washed my mouth, I took it. That's what he's saying. So that is the pastime is telling Pratap Rudra now. So it says the point is, don't get worked out about the rules. Always choose the higher principle. Lord himself has come and given. How can I put the rules of I didn't brush my teeth, I didn't change my top, I didn't comb my hair? These things do not apply. That's my point here. Okay. Let go your lower principle, stick on to higher principles. Not only in this, in any aspect, even your material aspects of your life. Okay. So let me ask you a simple question. Now let's say you're really hungry. You have some health condition also that you have to eat. But there's no food, there's no pressure to eat. And you're struggling for 3 hours, 4 hours. And suddenly one person gets some food for you to eat. Will you tell, is this onion garlic there? Is this Brahma Prasadam? Is it cooked by devotee consciousness? Will you ask those questions, or you will survive first by eating that food?
We will ask the questions first, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu, we will eat it first because I have to survive. My health is important first.
Yeah. In the current context, survival is a higher principle than following those rules of, oh, is it cooked by the right person? Is it Mahaprasadam? Is it onion garlic? No, that's my point here. Hold on to higher principle and let go lower principle at any point in time. I'll give you an example. One day we all went to Panihati ceremony. Okay. So in Panihati ceremony, what happens? There is first this Abhishekam, then Katha. After that, some fruits offering and all these things will go. And there'll be 2 lords. One is the Lord, metal Lord, which goes to take bath. Another is Gaur Nitai, maybe a bigger deity, that they'll be standing there. Okay. At that time, what happened? The program got delayed too much. So then people are all waiting, and then it's already 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, people have to leave home and things like that. So then that time, they're finishing Abhishekam, taking the deities for bathing in the water. So they're taking the deities, going to the water and coming out. And then every devotee will say, give me mercy, give me mercy. Things like that. Okay, at the time, what happened? Prasadam was not yet offered to the deities. And it's already late. So the Pujari is telling, no. The Utsav deities which went to the water, they also have to come back. Only then I will offer. And after offering, mix it and then serve prasadam. Now, if you have to do this, it'll take another 30 minutes to 40 minutes delay. And we're already lapsed time like anything. No, at the time one senior Vaishnava came and told, even though Utsamurti is in the water and the regular wooden murtis are there on the altar now, you offer the whatever deity on the altar, you offer them. Even though the Utsamurti is in water, they'll still have that prasad. So you offer it and immediately serve the Vaishnavas who are standing there. He said, no, Prabhu, there's no such rules that I've read in the Veda Shastra. The argument went. And finally, the senior devotee ensured that immediately they were offered without the Utsamurti, which were still in water, and prasad. So when I asked him, Prabhu, looks like these rules don't exist in the Shastra. How come you're insisting on it? He said the same thing. Sundarapa, higher principle comes first. Which is higher principle? The Vaishnavas are starving for food because the programs got delayed. Is feeding the Vaishnavas more important or following these rules? Anyway, you offer to the Mula Murti. When the Utsamurti comes, we'll offer some fruits. That's okay. They'll be happy because the Vaishnavas are taking care. You see, when you deviate, when you contradict, choose the higher principle and let go of your lower principle. Rule number one should be always followed in our life, not only in spiritual life, including material life. Is this clear?
Same thing happened in Bhadrachalam launch, no, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So here, even though he was not taken bath, he was in bed, the higher principle was Lord came and offered him. So he did not care for the lower principles. He took the prasad. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, something as you gave the example of, when the person is starving, that means the devotee is starving, he will accept the food, whatever is available, without questioning. But sometimes what happens, Prabhu, once we get into that kind of mode, the mind is so vulnerable, we tend to, lower our conscious.
No, nothing happens like that. But we should, offer our prayers to the Lord. Oh Lord, I'm deviating. Under the circumstances, I'm deviating. But please forgive me and please ensure me that I stay on this path. Just that offering is enough. That's all. Move forward. You don't need to become so this one.
Thank you.
You read Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord will say, first comes the golden age, Satya Yuga, then Treta Yuga, then Dwapara Yuga, then Kali Yuga. In golden age, in Satya Yuga, all these things will happen. My avatars will come like this. Like that, every age will say. And suddenly Lord will say, yes, there is a situation, we don't know what to do. So hence, Dwapara Yuga came ahead of Treta Yuga. See, there is a need. I cannot follow the rules and regulation. I need to swap. I need to change. Yes. Higher principle comes first. That's the point here. Okay, so let's move forward. 117. Who's going to read?
Hare Krishna. Text 11.117. Yanre krupa kari karena hrudaye prerana Krishnasraya haya chade veda loka dharma. Translation. The man to whom the Lord shows his mercy by inspiring him within the heart takes shelter only of Lord Krishna and abandons all Vedic and social customs. Perfect. This is also the teaching of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva dharman paratyajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender into me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Such faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead is possible only by the mercy of the Lord. The Lord is sitting within everyone's heart, and when he personally inspires his devotee, the devotee does not stick to the Vedic principles or social customs, but rather devotes himself to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. This is confirmed in the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.29.46. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Lord is reiterating this fact. So, social customs and things like that, is it lower principle or higher principle?
Lower principle.
Huh?
Lower
principle.
Lower principle, yes. Now I have to go to my study class. Suddenly, a birthday party comes, a close friend's birthday party. Oh, which shall I attend? So now, which is lower principle, which is higher principle?
Attending Bhagavad and the class is higher principle. Attending the party is lower principle.
Okay. Now, because you didn't attend, your friend may get upset with you, or your cousin may get upset with you. He may shout at you. He may not talk to you. He may break your relationship with you. So what will you do?
That doesn't matter. We can pacify them.
Doesn't matter is too bold. What else you will do? No choice at all. You just get lost.
Seek the mercy of the Lord, Prabhu, for the lapse.
No, it should become practical. You can prioritize this Bhagavatam class. And after Bhagavatam class is over, after Bhagavatam class is over, you do a late visit. Okay. Now let's say the program is fully over, all done. The next day, you go visit and then pay your, your respects to him. Just inquire, and you're done. This is intelligence. And that's what the Lord is expecting us to do at every point in time. You will see, as you practice more and more devotion, you will become a superb human being. Because Lord is teaching all these principles. You get the point? Yeah. Okay. So one last sloka for the day. 1118.
Hare Krishna. 11.1118. Somebody is trying, Prabhu?
Somebody crying?
No, trying. No, I started reading, but if somebody is trying...
you read.
Yeah. Yadayam anugrahnati Bhagavan Atma Bhavitaha Sajahati Matim Loke Vedecha Parinishtam. Translation. When one is inspired by the Lord, who is sitting in everyone's heart, he does not care for social custom or Vedic regulative principles. Purport. This instruction, Bhagavatam 4.29.46, was given by Narada Goswami to King Caitanya in connection with the story of Ranjana. Here, Narada implies that without the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot extricate himself from the fruitive activities that are under the jurisdiction of the Vedas. In the previous verses, Bhagavatam 4.29.42 to 44, Narada admits that even personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Manu, Prajapatis headed by Daksha, the four Kumaras, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Dhrugu, Vasishta, and even Narada himself could not properly receive the causeless mercy of the Lord.
So what is the point here?
So without the mercy of the Lord, nothing can move. So even a person who has to come out of his materialistic life is also mercy of the Lord. That means even to spell the name of the Lord Krishna is also mercy of the Lord. Without mercy of the Lord, even we cannot come to this path also.
Okay. What is the last part?
Last part is that even this exalted devotees also struggle for this path.
They don't struggle. If the mercy doesn't act on them, they do not even perform their duties or their practices of devotion. That's what it means. So the causeless mercy is very, very important at all points in time.
You can relate back, Prabhu, that glance. Otherwise, we'll be in inert state. That glance is needed.
Yes, very, very important.
People tell no, Prabhu. ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ಕಣ್ಣು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ.
So now the focus is, how do I receive mercy of the Lord? Can we just narrate 5-6 bullet points? There are many, but at least 5-6, which will receive mercy of the Lord. Maybe 10. Each one of us can tell one.
So one has to be sincere, Prabhu, in devotional service.
Okay, sincere in devotion service, you get mercy of the Lord. Okay, then
be humble.
Humility attracts mercy of the Lord. Okay, then
यारे कहा तारे यारे देखा तारा कहा Krishna Upadesa. So that is the primary principle, Prabhu. Wherever it is possible, we should start, giving the glorifying the Lord, so that the mercy of the Lord might at some point of time, the fallen should also come back to the path. So that is also one of the services we can get the mercy of the Lord. Lord is pleased by that.
So glorifying the Lord to a neophyte or a new devotee is an offense. Okay. It is one of the 10 offenses.
Okay.
No?
No, but one who cannot accept, who has no faith on the Lord.
Anyone who is not a devotee, to preach the glories of the Lord to a non-devotee is an offense.
9th offense.
So you cannot glorify the Lord to a non-devotee.
Vaishnava Seva, Prabhu.
Okay, Vaishnava Seva.
Prabhu, we can teach the innocent non-devotee, no, Prabhu?
When
not
we do Vaishnava Seva, we
faithless.
Okay, we'll not go there. That's not a question now. What are the points that will attract mercy?
And teach others about Krishna, Prabhu. Krishna, Prabhu.
Teach others about Krishna. Okay. Give Krishna conscious to them.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Prabhu, following the orders of our spiritual master. Following the orders of spiritual master.
Okay, following orders of spiritual will attract mercy.
Tolerance, Prabhu.
Tolerance, no, 50-50 state. Anything else?
Chanting.
No. Anukulya Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Ruttama. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Always remembering the Lord.
No. What does the sloka mean?
You don't expect, without expecting, you do the things.
Those
Favorable for devotional service.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Favorable for devotional service, we have to accept spiritual progress.
So when you want to perform an activity, you should prioritize activities
Anyabhilashita shunyam.
I don't know whose voice is that.
Shweta Mataji.
Okay. So the point is, let's say you have to do an activity. Okay. You ask a question, will this be against the principles? Will it please the Lord or not please the Lord? If the question is no, this activity will not please the Lord, then don't do it. Yes, this activity will please the Lord, then do it. By following this kind of a principle, you will see you will attract the mercy of the Lord. Right? So now let's take an example. I know I shouldn't drink coffee, but now I want to drink coffee because my taste buds are asking for it. Now I won't have coffee. Now what will happen if I have coffee? No, the Lord won't be pleased because I'm breaking my promise. So I will not have. It's not about me wanting or do not want. It's not about what me is. It's about the Lord. The Lord is center of the life. Oh, if I do this, it doesn't please the Lord. Hence, I will not do it. Okay? There's something else I'm going to do, but this will please the Lord. Yeah. Whether the outcome is favorable to me or not, I don't care. Because it will please the Lord, I will do that activity. It will attract mercy of the Lord. So, devotees are always searching for opportunity which will attract mercy of the Lord. And they'll immediately grab it and do it. That's the point.
Doing different sevas, Prabhu. Whatever seva you get, you have to grab it and do it.
Yeah. So one person asked a question. Prabhuji, will a pujari go back to Godhead? So the point is, okay, why are you asking this question? He is always in front of the deities. He is touching the Mula Vigraha. He is offering garland. He is making mukut. He is making dresses. He is offering bhoga. So he's doing all these topmost service. Will he come back to Godhead? The answer is, it depends on his consciousness.
Yes.
The Acharya never said he'll go back home. He said it depends on his consciousness. Consciousness? What consciousness, Prabhu? He's doing this Arti in front of the Lord. He's saying, no one else is doing. I have to do this all the time. Why? Why I'm burdened all the time? Everyone escapes. I get caught. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So this is consciousness. So if he does this seva with this consciousness, he will never make progress in devotion life. And that's the point. Even if you do a little thing, do it with the proper consciousness, and the consciousness of love, consciousness of seva bhavana, the consciousness of service mentality.
It's like Brahmana and cobbler story, Prabhu.
Yeah, something like that. Correct. Okay. So this will attract the special favor of the Lord. And nothing else will attract the special favor. Okay. Okay. So now Saurabhuma Bhattacharya is teaching King Prataprudra what is practical and what is theory. So now Prataprudra is becoming more intelligent. Yeah, I get the point now. This is what I was missing. And thank you. So this is how a guru will act. Okay. So one last thing before we stop this. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Do you want to hear this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Otherwise, we'll not get sleep, Prabhu.
So once when Guru Maharaj came to Bangalore, okay.
Yes.
So then I was given one day some service with Guru Maharaj. Okay. So now women came to his room. So when Matajis come to Guru Maharaj's room, you know, they must be wearing, if they're wearing a sari, they have to take the pallu and cover their head and come. Okay, this is a rule when they're seeing a sannyasi. And if someone is wearing a chudidar, they have to take their, what is it called, scarf, and cover their head, close it near the neck. Then they have to come and speak from a distance only, not very close to Guru. And they can do their service and they can leave. This is the rule. This is the rule. And this is a very, very important rule to follow. So once when Mataji came, And she came with her pallu, put on her head, closed very tightly. Then she came and told Maharaj. She was saying something to Guru Maharaj. Now what happened? Guru Maharaj took his Jagannath stick, toothbrush, and he wanted to bless her. Okay. So he told me, ask her to remove the scarf, the pallu. I didn't hear that properly because, no, Guru Maharaj's voice is a little bit difficult to understand very quickly. So I couldn't hear that properly. But that Mataji heard. She immediately removed the pallu. Then I said, no, you're in front of Guru. Come on, put your pallu. Then Guru Maharaj told me, no, remove pallu. And I'm confused. Why is that Guru telling remove pallu, but she's supposed to wear pallu on her head? Then I didn't still understand. Then I told her, no, Mataji, wear your pallu. Guru Maharaj looked at me. You hear what I'm saying? Ask her to remove pallu. Then I said, oh, okay, sorry, Guru Maharaj, I didn't hear properly. Then I told her, Mataji, remove your pallu. Then she removed her pallu. Guru Maharaj called her. And he kept the Jagannath toothbrush on her head. She said, oh, thank you, Maharaj. Then she wore the pallu. Now Guru Maharaj asked her to wear pallu now. Then I told her, and she wore the pallu and she left. Then I was confused to when to wear this pallu, when not to wear the pallu. I don't know what is it. Then I asked Guru Maharaj. He said, when I'm giving Jagannath stick, the mercy should not go to the dress. It should go to her. So remove the pallu and take the mercy. So then I realized, oh God, how dumb I am, how foolish I am in front of my Guru. Then I said, sorry, Guru Maharaj, I didn't understand. He laughed, ha. He laughed and he went. So you see, very, very finite things that we miss the point. And it comes only through realization. Did you all like this pastime?
Prabhu, when he told the answer to you, you also got the mercy, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, he came in, then he said, you bend down now, and then he put the stick on my head also.
So nice.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I need little clarification on the question that I asked you, Prabhu, regarding last you asked me, that, whenever we want to give this, glorifying the Lord in the presence of somebody, we know their conscience, are they listening or are they rejecting? But if, how is it, Prabhu, to understand this?
No, it's very simple. Teaching the glories of the Lord means, for example, someone will say, oh, when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Lord will come and dance on your tongue, Lord will come and dance in your heart, like that. These are all the glories of the Lord, which is true. But the person who's hearing it, he will say, what nonsense are you talking? And he'll blaspheme the Lord and blaspheme the Shastra and blaspheme you. And that's why it's an offense. So hence,
I got your point.
We never talk about the glories of the Lord to a newcomer. We only talk about, the benefits of chanting the holy name, benefits of eating prasadam, how you can do this. That is what you talk about to a newcomer. We don't do glorification of the Lord to the newcomer. That's the point. To the devotees is fine, not to the newcomer.
Okay, I got it.
One last question, Prabhu. In chapter 1 of Krishna book, it says Devaki gave birth to 8 male children and 1 daughter, Prabhu. How to explain this?
She gave birth to 8 male children as well as 1 daughter. The daughter is what?
Yogamaya, Prabhu.
Yogamaya, that's what it is.
Okay.
As I understand, because I don't remember she having any other children apart from the 8 children.
That's what it's in the chapter 1 of Krishna.
And she did not give birth again afterwards. Yes. I mean, later on at least, like that. So that is also not true. So it is the Yogamaya. So that's how you consider.
Okay.
Prabhu, Subhadra Devi is Krishna's sister.
She is only Subhadra. Yogamaya is
Subhadra, no? See, when that girl child, when the child swap happens, that is the Subhadra, right?
Yes.
Mahamaya, Yogamaya, all same only. No?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Grandaraj, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat. Thank you. Happy Ekadasi.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow we have class, no Prabhu? Morning.
Yeah, morning we have resumed it.
Oh, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.